Okay, this is the demonstration for Chapter 4, Lesson 5, Problem Solving, and we're going to use the strategy Act It Out. So, the directions at the bottom say look at the attribute buttons. We don't have the attribute buttons, so we're going to use our two-sided chips. You should have red on one side and yellow on the other. And we're going to use them to show this number. So it says make the number. How do you make the number? So I'm going to put my 3 yellow chips over top of the yellow triangles. And then I'm going to use my 2 red chips over top of the green triangles. So that's how I made the number. Then it says count the chips. Excuse me. And we're going to say how many. So let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we have 5 chips. And so I'm going to trace the number at the top. So remember, neck short, belly fat, Mr. 5 wears a hat. So it says trace the number on the top line. We did that. Trace the numbers that show a way to make that number. So they put the numbers here for us already, and we're going to trace them in a minute. But let's look up here and see how we made the number 5. We have 1, 2, 3 yellow chips. So we're going to come down here around the tree, around the tree. That's the way to make a 3. We're going to trace that 3. And then we have 1, 2 red chips. So we're going to come down here around the bend, down the track, 2, 2, 2, and trace the number 2. So 3 and 2 make 5. That's one way to make 5. So you can go ahead and clear it off, and we are going to open your page, turn your page like a book, and then grab it by the corner and flip it like a pancake. All right, and this one they want us to use cubes, but we don't have cubes, so we're going to use our chips again. Now, you can use either color you want. I'm just going to put the yellow chips on the orange blocks, and I'll put my red chips on the purple blocks. So it's saying, how do you make that number? This is how we made the number. All right, and so this is how we show the number. Now we need to count and see what number this is. So go ahead and count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the number 7. So we're going to come down here to this top line, and we're going to make a 7. Across the sky and down from heaven, that's the way to make a 7. All right, and then we need to see how many yellow chips and how many red chips we used to make that 7. So let's count the red chips first. Count with me. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to come down here, we're going to write the number 3. Around the tree, around the tree. That's the way to make a 3. Okay, and let's count how many chips we used, the yellow chips we used to make 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to go down and over, down once more. That's the way to make a 4. And then I'm going to read my number sentence. 3 and 4 make 7. Clear off your paper. This time we're just going to flip it like a pancake. Flip. All right. This time I want to use, we already have 1 red block, so I'm going to use my red chip for this. It says, how do you make the number? So we're going to make the number. I use my 1 red chip to cover the red block. I'm going to use my yellow chips to cover the blue block. All right, now we need to count and see what this number is. So go ahead and count with me. Since we have them kind of in a straight line, let's count across so we don't get confused. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to write the number 6 at the top line. Down and around a monkey's tail, a 6 you'll make and never fail. Okay, so how many red chips do we use to make the number 6? We used 1 red chip to make the number 6. So we're going to come over here, down for 1, that's all, we're done. All right, I want you to count and see how many yellow chips we used to make 6. Let's count it together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next short, belly fat, Mr. 5 wears a hat. All right, let's read our number sentence. 1 and 5 make 6. Clear off your board. We're going to turn our page like a book again. So we're going to turn it like a book. We're going to grab it by the corner here and flip it. We have one more problem to act out. We're going to make this number with our chips. So I think on this one, I'm going to use the yellow to cover the blue. And I'm going to use my red chips to cover the green. All right, let's count the number. We're going to count across again. Let's count and see how many chips we have here. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is how we make the number 5. We're going to come down here to the top line and we're going to write neck short, belly fat, Mr. 5 wears a hat. So we wrote the number on the top line. Now we need to show how many chips we used to make that 5. So I'm going to start with the red, and I'm going to count how many red chips I used. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down and over, down once more. That's the way to make a 4. All right, and how many yellow chips did I use? Right, so I used 1 yellow chip to make 5. So I'm going to go down for 1. That's all, we're done. And the last thing we need to do is read our number sentence. 4 and 1 make 5. All right, great work today, guys.